Hello everyone, it's Ashwin Rao, and in today's video I am bringing you a new makeup from Peter Q. Been making waves in the shoe community for really awesome shell Cordovan makeups in a traditional American style, meaning that the lasts, the shapes, the way that the boots look hearken to the era of American heritage, Americana style. And China honestly seems to be an area in the shoemaking world, in a country where this is becoming increasingly embraced. You know, we saw a move towards Americana maybe 20 to 30 years ago in Japan that has continued to persist. And now we see China and entrepreneurs such as Peter Q, Flame Panda, you hear about Iron Boots, you hear about other makeups like Lost Boy Boots, Grant Stone, who manufactures through China, XBXS/Luos Jet, as well as Crush on Retro are entry-level bands. Peter Q sits more in that mid-segment, and in my mind, is a great way to explore shell Cordovan makeups at a more affordable price than, say, what you could get from Alden, Viberg, Crockett & Jones. Peter Q, really great lasts, really good styles, tend to have a slightly dressier look to them, but also have those rounded, more robust lasts that appeal to us heritage enthusiasts. And so I wanted to take you through this unboxing of a pair of shoes. You can see here the traditional shoemaking is art. Peter Q, handmade, and these are shoes that are hand welted, hand lasted with hand stitched outsoles. So really handmade shoes. So you're getting an upgrade in terms of manufacturing skill and craftsmanship over something like a Goodyear welted shoe. Let's go ahead and unbox this pair. So here we are here. First thing you see is a little shoehorn. There's a brand out of Japan known as Joe Works that I've had my eye on for a long period of time. And this pair reminds me, at least in its style, of the Joe Works style, but I've never seen Joe Works do shell Cordovan, whereas Peter does. You can see plenty of paper adorning and protecting the shoes for transit. This box came housed in another box, just so you know, and what we see here are two bags, kind of a burlap looking-ish, almost thin cotton-like material, certainly adequate for transport. And you can see plastic as well protecting the shoe. Here we see the Peter Q branding with the website on the bag and a drawstring, pull string. So totally nice, adequate, and certainly for the price point of around $600 to protect your shell Cordovan footwear. There we go. So wrapped in plastic. Let's remove. And there we go. What a beautiful, clean, simple, side gore style Lazyman slip-on shoe, reminiscent of the Oxford style with that elongated profile, but no faux stitches. This is just the little V shape that I like. And the side gore protected with paneling stitched on, which is also shell Cordovan. A beautiful makeup with a toe plate, a rubber Peter Q branded sole protector. You see a little bit of design element. Makeup here, really robust fudging here, and then this very clean Goodyear welting, and a simple yet approachable heel block. This is Peter's whiskey shell Cordovan color. So the naming nomenclature is reminiscent of Alden, so you can imagine that they're trying to aim for that segment. This is a slightly dressier style, but because it's a Lazyman, it still has the ability to pull off casual, and I'm really excited to see this shoe and this model because it really features the leather. The leather is meant to be the standout feature, and as it forms rolls, which as you've seen, Peter's Cordovan, which is a domestic Chinese shell Cordovan, has a really rich character to it. And this is a crust shell hand painted in this whiskey colorway and then finished with some wax. See a really clean outsole stitching across the board and a nice welt, midsole, and a leather heel block, squared off leather heel block in this case with that rubber heel. Let's take out the other boot and get rid of the box so that we can get a better idea for exactly what we're getting. So we're back with this now unboxed Peter Q Lazyman makeup. Let's take a few other looks here. This is a beautiful almond-shaped last, has an asymmetric almond toe profile. You can see a single row stitching along the top collar. Here's the back heel seam and the flap, pretty characteristic of the style. We see this elastic side gore that helps you slip the shoe right on or off. There's a 270-degree outsole stitch, which dresses this up in my mind a little. Slight contrast. The stitch is actually a very similar color to the whiskey, so I actually really like that little refinement. We see a mid-brown edge dressing, what appears to be a true leather heel stack made up of 3 pieces of leather, followed by the midsole, followed by the welt. If I zoom in here, the welt is really cleanly joined to the place where I can't even really see the welt joint, which is actually pretty impressive. Just see the profile here is just really smart. Has a nice mid-height instep, a nice organic cupping heel. We talked about the block heel block style, not a tapered heel block, which gives it a little bit more of that casual flair. Here we see a squared off edge beveling and a flat waist, size 43 in this case, which is my equivalent Brannock 10. And that kind of takes you through it, my friends. Pretty simple, clean, elegant makeup. For those of you who like loafers, who want to elevate to a slightly dressier look, or those of you who just don't want to be bothered with laces, the Lazyman style, which was initially popularized by Winston Churchill, who preferred not to lace for whatever reasons, has become popular. This whiskey has this orangish brown look to it, really rich red undertones, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this particular model breaks in. Peter Q, my friends, continuing to impress me with their makeups. I now have 3 models, including their derby style boot and their engineer, and now this Lazyman. The Lazyman from Peter Q in whiskey shell, 270-degree welt with a block heel, natural edge dressing, and there you have it. Peter Q. Everyone have a good one, and I'll see you at the next video.